Well, the Houston Astros continue their quest for the playoffs against the Mariners on Friday night. Justin Verlander, we're going to talk about, could probably be the only 300-game winner left in Major League Baseball when he gets there, and Jose Altuve will be going for his 2000th hit as he returns home. Let's talk about this and other topics on tonight's Locked On Astros.
Alvarez hits a high drive, center field. Beer leans back. This game is turned upside down. There's the runner, fly ball down the right field line. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at on this beautiful night?
They can find me at H-Town Wellhouse on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
All righty, guys. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. Whether it's on YouTube, go ahead and become an everydayer. Somebody listens to our podcast every day, and go ahead and join just the Locked On Astros Nation that we have created. And thank you for subscribing to us on YouTube and making us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you check out your podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. You know what else you should check out? An app called Sleeper. Just swing for the fences on Sleeper picks, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Download the Sleeper app and use the promo code Locked On, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational over 30 states. Check out Sleeper today. And I bet you a lot of teams were probably sleeping on the Houston Astros to start the season. Now they have 40 games left in the season, and there are some tough matchups coming up, but there are also some easy matchup for the Astros. We'll kind of look at that and see what the Astros need to do with 40 games left. Is it better to go for the AL West, or is it better to be a wild card team? I don't like that idea, but we can talk about that as well. I know you mentioned something about the RSN news, the regional, the broadcast network news. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on there. And Justin Verlander, could he be the last 300 pitcher that's still active? We'll see. And then we'll look ahead at the Mariners series and Michael Brantley. Yes, he did play. What did he do in today's game? So that's just some of the topics we will discuss on today's the Locked On Astros podcast.
Yeah, definitely, Eric, and, right off the bat, just to, look at and focus on where the Astros are. They have, like you mentioned, the 40 games left. We've got this 3-game set versus the Mariners, and Julio Rodriguez comes in to this weekend swinging a very hot bat, almost too hot. Like, he's one of those guys that when we faced the Mariners early in the season, he wasn't really doing anything. He was really underperforming. Kelenic was struggling. The Mariners had kind of lost their way, and now all of a sudden they've caught fire at the right time. Right. You know what would be interesting is if the Rangers completely fell off and it became a division race between us and the Mariners. Because look, the Mariners are built really kind of differently than a lot of people, and that they've got guys that just have not been doing what they normally do when they perform. I think the Mariners come in the way the Astros are playing, and I think we do a good job against them and we handle them nicely. But when they're coming in hot and when they're hottest hitter, and I know they just got through playing the Kansas City Royals, not like they're world beaters, but you've got to make sure that your pitchers keep Julio Rodriguez in the park and under wraps, because he can hurt you really good. We do avoid a couple of their big pitchers this weekend. We do avoid Castillo, and I believe, is it Ray that just pitched yesterday? I think we will face Logan, but maybe it's George Kirby. I'm not sure. I just know that we're avoiding 2 of their 4 big arms this weekend. So,
Yeah. So if you're looking at the Astros have 40 games left, and who's on the docket? It's the Mariners for 3. You have the Red Sox at home for 4. Then you go on the road to play the Tigers for 3, the Red Sox for 3 on the road. Then you face the all of a sudden terrible Yankees at home for 3 games. Then the Rangers on the road. Then the Padres at home, the A's at home. So then the Royals on the road, the Orioles at home, the Royals at home, the Mariners on the road, and then you end the season with the D-backs. So if you look at that, there's a whole bunch of teams like the Royals, the A's, the Padres, the D-backs actually are a good team. I can't really say that, but
but the D-backs haven't really performed like they had been in the first part of the season. They're
right.
not as strong as they used to be. I think the Dodgers and the rightful owners of the AL West have really kind of taken that over. But Eric, I love our schedule compared to what the Rangers have to go through. The Rangers gauntlet is a lot more tumultuous and treacherous. And I mean, look, I talked to a Rangers fan tonight at the event for our local sponsor at Hooters, and he asked me, he said, "Do you think the Astros can take the Rangers?" And I said, "Absolutely." He said, "What makes you think that?" I was like, "I've got 6 years of evidence in 6 straight ALCS. I've got 4 World Series and 2 titles. The Rangers haven't done anything in that time period significant. And with this team battle tested and with the guys that we have in the locker room, I still have a hard time believing that we're not going to somehow come out on top of the division, Eric. I just you can't convince me until they clinch, until we see a Rangers West Division T-shirt being sold on TV after they win or clinch the division. I'm not going to believe that the Astros aren't the eventual champions of the AL West, which we need to. And not only the AL West, Eric, you talked about it. We need the top seed. We don't want a home field advantage to go to Baltimore, period, end of story. I want the top seed. I want to get greedy. I want to have the most wins. And who would have thought that the Astros at this point, with all the adversity we faced this year, that we would be in the position to say that we have a real chance at getting that top spot?
Yes, for sure. So I know that I think that the Astros have a chance to at least finish top in AL West. But I have a question for you, Brett, and to the listeners who are live in the chat. Go and put your contribution in as well. But how many wins do you think the Astros need to get to A, maybe finish on top of the Rangers, and B, to finish with a better record than the Orioles? Because the Orioles right now have 74 wins. So they have 4 more wins than the Astros do at this point. So how many wins do you think the Astros need?
So I think to win the division, I think the Astros will need, let's say, between 92 and 95 wins the division. Maybe closer to 95. I think that's easier for us to attain than the Rangers because of who the Rangers face versus who we face. Now, the Orioles, I haven't dissected their record, and I'm going to look it up right now. I don't know what kind of gauntlet they have. They play the Diamondbacks. They play the Dodgers. They play Toronto. They play the White Sox, and Boston, Tampa Bay, St. Louis, Cleveland, Boston, Washington. They've got a little bit tougher schedule than we do. We have the easiest schedule of the 3 teams.
Right.
I think if they get to 95 wins, they can definitely win the division. I think if they get to 97 wins, they can win I think they can take the top spot between 97 and 99 wins. Now,
Yes.
if that's 97 wins, so what, we have 74 now. If we get 97, that
we
means
have 70 wins right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, 70 wins. So we need 27 out of the next 40 games, right?
Right.
So I think that's doable. I mean, you just have to keep winning series. And that's where the Astros have to focus. And that's where fans and that's where our listeners need to make sure that you don't put the cart before the horse. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So to answer your question, 95 to take the division, 97, I think, ultimately takes the lead. If you got to win 100, then I guess, you've got to win like 30 of the 40 games. I don't know if you do that, but look, it's possible. You get hot. This team gets hot. Brantley comes back. I mean, a lot of things could go our way. So a lot of luck is involved in baseball, and the baseball god's smiling on us too.
All right. Well, if you look at the math part of things, the Astros have 13 series left, and they've recently have been winning series. That means 2 games or so. I know there is one 4-game series, but if you do the math, 13 times 2 is 26. So that would put them at 96 wins. So they need to go ahead and try to go ahead and maybe in that Red Sox series win 3 out of 4 games and not just 2, and then go ahead and maybe try to sweep one series if they want to try to get to that 97 or 98. But Dalton earlier said 96 to possibly win the division and 99 to possibly get the best record. I would actually agree with that. It's just going to be a little bit harder than I think. It's going to be a little bit harder to get that job done. So I think the Astros have some deficiencies. I think Christian Javier, he's showing some fatigue. I think the Astros offense has been showing a little bit better more lately.
Well,
but
I mean, they have been averaging more runs since Altuve and Alvarez have come back. So that is a trend in the right direction.
Right.
And
yeah, what I was trying to say is that I think that a lot of teams are looking at the Astros as a possible sleeper and really sleeping on the Astros. And so I don't be a sleeper and go and check out the Sleeper app. And Brett, tell us about the Sleeper app.
Yeah, definitely. Sleeper is one of those great apps out there. One thing that they do is you get $100 match on your first deposit on your mobile device. Look, if you go to sleeper.com, use the promo code Locked On, you'll get that $100 match on your $100 deposit, and the payouts are instant. And what's cool about Sleeper, your picks before the game happens. You can literally be in the middle of the game, look at what's going on. You could even kind of, it's what's funny is you can look into the game and it's not cheating. You can go, okay, well, Julio Rodriguez is 0 for 2. This guy's got his number. If they say he's going to get 0.5 hits over or under, if you think he's going to squeeze out at least 1 hit in the game because he's been hot, then you go with the 0.5, you go over, and then maybe that's a 1.5 or 1.8 multiplier, and you basically get several different props in that game, and you hit send, and then you see what the payout is. The payouts are there. They're amazing. The multipliers are great, and they're instant. I mean, you get them when you win. You get them. It goes straight into your account. You can withdraw the money fast. You can put the money just as fast into your account and have fun doing it. You can get groups together. You can have group chats on it. And it's not just baseball. It's football and every sport imaginable. So go check out Sleeper. Don't sleep on Sleeper. Swing for the fences for your $100 match today. And don't forget that the Astros play the Mariners Friday, 7:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catch every pitch of the Astros hometown broadcast with SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Astros. So, Eric,
one thing I do want to say about
Eric, I cannot hear you.
It's on your side. So one thing I do want to say is that the Astros, one thing that the Astros need to do is to go ahead and if they're having if they want to reach a certain amount of wins, they need to go ahead and just focus on winning series. But they also just need to play good baseball. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's on your side, Brent.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Keep going. It was my phone. What's weird is right now, as we're recording, my computer's trying to connect to my AirPods, and my AirPods are dead. So I have no idea what's happening there. No, I was just typing that in there because I didn't know you were talking. I was like, I can't hear Eric all of a sudden. So go ahead and make your point if you wouldn't mind, so I can kind of rebound on that. Sorry about that, bud.
Okay, but I was just saying that somebody asked in the chat how many of those are home series and how many of those are road series. The Astros would be playing 7 series at home and 6 series on the road. So that's kind of an even split there. And if you look at the teams with winning records versus losing records, it's about even. So I think that you need to take advantage of the fact that you're playing teams like the Tigers, the A's, the Royals, and I know the Mariners still have a winning record. They're still 66-55, but they did trade away some players. They still have Julio Rodriguez. And so they just need to make some better things. But the Astros do have something that a lot of teams do not have. They have possibly a professional hitter coming back at some point to join the lineup and Michael Brantley. So.
And we've got Jose Altuve chasing 2,000 hits this weekend. We've got, I mean, dude, there's so many storylines with this team. You've got Kyle Tucker, who's chasing 30-30. You've got, look, Michael Brantley looks good, dude. He had a single today. I mean, it's like 102 miles an hour, 105 miles an hour off the bat for a single. I mean, after the home run the other day, and I believe if he played today, he was off the day before. They typically, the pattern is
every other day, yeah,
back-to-back days. So he's probably going to play again at Sugarland, and heck, I may show up and go watch him, maybe so I can get some sound bites from him to see how he's feeling on the field. But I just think this is setting up perfectly, Eric. The storylines are too great. I mean, this team, for all intents and purposes, should be in first place by the end of the season. I really thought it would happen sooner. You got to tip your cap to the Rangers because but Corey Seager is like crushing the ball right now. He's been one of the best players in the American League. I'm just glad that we don't. I hope someone beats the Braves. If we make it to the World Series, I hope somebody knocks the Braves down, because the Braves right now got 2 MVP candidates in Matt Olson and Ronald Acuna Jr. I do not want to face the Atlanta Braves this year. Now, I think we have a better chance this year because we're healthy. We had a health issue when we faced them in 2021. But man, that team's scary on the National League side. So someone needs to take them out like quickly.
Yes. So I know that some people have been asking on the chat about the new AT&T Sportsnet or AT&T Sportsnet, what's going to happen. It seems like the Astros and Rockets are planning to buy the rights for AT&T Sportsnet after the season. That means they may change the network. That means they won't have to pay the middleman, so to speak. So we're probably likely going to see a lot of the same group of characters, Blummer and Callis and everything, to be. I'm not for sure about that, but one thing that I do know, I'll let you talk about in a second, but the game on Sunday will be on Peacock, and Blummer will be part of that broadcast. So that'll be cool to hear a local voice there.
Yeah, look, I think it's great. I'm just going to say this. Hey, Jim Crane, if you're going to have a TV network and a sweet TV deal, you should have plenty of money to go get Ohtani in the offseason. Let's just do it. Let's just take the world by the tail. Let's just look, the Yankees are down. Let's just make it even worse and more miserable for opposing fans. Like, who's going to boo Ohtani? Like, you can't boo Altuve and Ohtani in the same game. I mean, you've got the TV money. You've got the market that you're going to bring over from Japan. I mean, it's money in the bank. Now, ticket prices might go through the roof, and we might not be able to go to a game, but look, I love that the Astros are taking over the TV deal. And I think Jim Crane's wanted to do this all along. I mean, there's other things that Jim Crane's planning. I think you're going to see the next 5 years, the Houston Astros are really going to step up the presentation of who the Astros are for the outside world, become one of the big guys. I mean, if we're not already a big guy, I really believe that this is going to be a good deal for them. I bet you'll see everybody back. There's no reason for them to get new personalities. Jim Crane knows about personalities and a people person. He's going to keep the connection he has with the fans, because look, when they're not commenting on the game, they're at the game. Like Jeff Blum gets on the big screen drinking a beer. I mean, whose local announcer does that? I don't know any other announcer that does that. I love these guys.
Yeah. Some teams fire put their guys on leave or whatever happened when they say
that
the
Orioles, they're amateurs. They're still trying to be like us.
Yeah. So, but definitely something. I don't know all the details yet. I don't think we'll know until after the season, the full details there yet. But the Astros will still be on your TV, and how much it's going to cost us or down the road, who knows? But I don't think the Astros are one of the teams where we'll have to worry about that. But something that the Astros will be doing tomorrow is they'll be unveiling the 2022 World Series champ giant ring outside. So
nice.
You know how there's already the 2017 ring, they're going to be unveiling the 2022 ring. So it's going to be August 18th from 12 to 3 p.m. So that's just going to be a little party they're going to have. So if you're able to get off that day, go ahead and go down there and see it.
What's the date again?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. From when to when?
12 to 3.
Okay, 12 to 3. Okay, I'm just making sure, because all right. So Friday from 12 to 3. Go hang out. Yeah, just make sure that people get it, because hey, they may be listening to it on Friday, and maybe on their lunch break and near Minute Maid. So hey, take a U-turn, turn back around, and go check out the ring. When you do take a picture with the ring, tag us in it. Tag Locked On Astros. Help us out on social media. That would be fun.
Yes. So when Justin Verlander got the win last night, it was his 252nd of his career, moving him past Bob Gibson, CC Sabathia, and Al Spalding. His next win will tie him with Carl Hubble. 300 is possible for him. So will he be the last guy to possibly reach 300? Because it seems like wins, especially with pitchers staying less, I guess, in shorter time in games, and managers going to the bullpen quicker. I don't know if and wins are kind of not valued as much as they used to be.
No.
So, and you don't see them start as much as they did back then. So is Justin Verlander, can he stay in the game long enough to reach 300?
Well, look, he's got 2 more years left on his deal, correct?
Yes,
next
potentially.
year, and then
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
2
then
more
the other
years.
one is like he has to reach 140 innings, I believe.
Okay. I think he gets there. He gets to 300. I think he can do it. It might be tough, but I think he can do it. Justin Verlander, if he doesn't, he'll get like 295. Okay. The closest person to him is Zach Greinke. He is not getting that. He's 39. That dude is not getting 64. What is it? 64 or 66 wins. Okay. Or 76 wins. He's at 224. Max Scherzer's at 213. He ain't getting it. He's 38. Clayton Kershaw, 208. I doubt it. The guy gets injured too much. Cole Hamels, he's done. Johnny Cueto, no, 140. Cueto, 143. Garrett Cole, this is among active pitchers, 140. He's only 32.
Yeah, he's still young.
He can still get it. Garrett Cole has a real shot. Charlie Morton's too old. I'm looking down the list. Wade Miley's at 105. Wade
Garrett
Miley
Cole is 32.
That's what I said.
He has to double 100. Like he's at what, 140. So he's going to have to double that.
So let's say he gets 10 wins. Let's say he gets 13 wins a year for like the next 10 years. What is that?
I'm just looking up what he averages.
That's 130, right?
I'm looking up Garrett Cole's stats. I'm not paying attention to you right now.
Okay, well, I'm asking you a question.
So he has 10, 11, 19, 7, 12, 15, 20, 7, 16, 13, 10. So he averages about 16 wins a year.
Okay.
So he's been in the league for about 11 years. So in 11 years, he has 140. I don't see him staying for another until he's 43 to get another, maybe even 42.
Well, if he stays till 42 and he averages 16 wins a year, that means he's getting 160 wins. He's absolutely getting 300. But him getting 300, he's the only other guy that I'm saying is a possibility. Right. I'm not saying he's going to get it,
right,
but he's the closest guy to it at his age that could get it. 300 wins. You're right. You're not going to see this after this era of pitchers is gone. The 300 game thing is donezo. It is not the way they condition pitchers. It is, but it's the way they condition pitchers, and it is the fault of baseball. And baseball, if you want to blame baseball for old records going away, well, they're doing it with the way they condition pitchers. That's fine. But listen, if you are trying to find a place to go hang out and look for a place to eat your favorite food, look, tomorrow is Friday. They have $19.83 stone crab legs. I mean, go get them. They're good. They have great desserts. I had a burger tonight, burger and fries. It was phenomenal. They've got great drinks. They got things like Gentle Ben's. They've got Coors Light on tap. They have the $9.90. They have $3.99 Blue Moon drafts, $9.99 Michelob Ultra pitchers. They have a happy hour from 2 to 7 and 10 to close. Okay. Every day. Kids eat free on Saturdays and Sundays. So if you can't make it out to the game, find a place like the Pearland Hooters, like NASA, Seabrook, Pasadena, Sugarland, Katy, Humble, Baytown, Galveston. I mean, look, anywhere you go in the Houston area, they have a Hooters. So go there. The world famous Hooters girls are there. And why do you want to eat there? Why? Because they have great food, great service, and because Hooters makes you happy. Make sure that you watch. If you can't watch the Astros play or attend the game, you listen to the Astros and the Mariners play at 7:10 p.m. Central Standard Time on Friday. Catch every pitch of the Astros local or hometown broadcast with SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Astros.
Yes, I do not want to make any comments for what is happening in Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
I
we're
want to,
not.
yeah.
Like, yeah, we don't comment on those items. Number one, it has nothing to do with our team. Number two, if you don't know what we think about that, then you don't know us. So that's all
Yeah.
I'll say about that.
As teachers, that's a big no. So yeah, we're going to stay away from that. But to close out on Garrett Cole, he is 10-3 this year with the 2.76 ERA. So he does have a chance, but he's going to have to stick around for a long time, just like Justin Verlander is having to stick around for a long time to get it done. And can Garrett Cole's body withstand the longevity of a long career? So we'll have to see. So
Well, see, I think he's a big body pitcher. I think he's more stout than your other guys. I mean, he is a traditional Tom Seaver, Steve Carlton, Nolan Ryan-esque type pitcher.
right.
And that's why those guys were able to withstand all those years and all those innings. And so I think Garrett Cole can do it. Now, the question is, what's going to happen to the Yankees? Those dudes are going to probably finish under 500 this year. And the Yankees suck right now, dude. And they don't have any kind of vision. They don't have any kind of future. They need to become the tankies. They need to tank so that they can rebuild their system the way the Astros and the Orioles have done. And if they don't do that, then you know what? C'est la vie. I don't think the Yankees will be relevant for the next 8 to 10 years if they continue down the path they're on.
Yeah, they better be careful because remember how they used to throw things on the field at Astros players? They might start doing that to their own players with the way
Yeah,
they're
they're already
playing.
putting bags on their heads. So
Yeah, so looking at what Kyle Tucker has done this year, he is top in the American League with RBIs with 92. So that's pretty awesome. And if you're looking at what the Astros have done team-wise, so he's only one in the top 5 at any of the big lists there. But if you look at the team list, the top 5 right now, the Astros are tied for third with the Guardians with the 3.78 ERA. And if you're looking at the quality starts, they are tied with the Blue Jays with 56 quality starts. The Mariners have 58 and the Twins have 61. And surprisingly, the Padres have 56. So they're also tied with the Astros. So
now what I love about Kyle Tucker is he leads the American League in RBIs with 92. The only person who is in front of him for RBI is Matt Olson, who's absolutely studying out this
107.
year. Yeah, crazy stuff.
43
He's
homers.
He's also number 7 in stolen bases. Look, dude, Kyle Tucker is having an MVP year, 3rd in slugging percentage, 526. The only 2 above him is Ohtani, who's hitting 664 slugging. Someone said Ohtani was overrated. I'm sorry, I have to 100% disagree with you on that. I couldn't. That couldn't be a more off take.
Overrated.
Well, someone said that earlier. No, he is not overrated. He is an amazing hitter. Look, Kyle Tucker, guys, is going to win an MVP. Kyle Tucker is going to be an Astro for his entire career, and he may win multiple MVPs. I really hope Ohtani goes in the National League if he doesn't come to the Astros. That's my wish list.
So H-Town Baseball Cards ask, how about the bullpen ERA? The Astros bullpen ERA is at 3.60. That is good for 6 in all of baseball. The Yankees actually have the best ERA at 3.19. The Mariners 3.42. The Braves 3.44. The Guardians at 3.57. And the Blue Jays at 3.58. And the Blue Jays are the team that the Astros need to watch out for in terms of the wild card spot because they are right behind them. And so, but also the Astros are kind of trying to overtake the Rays and also trying to overtake the Rangers and also trying to overtake the Orioles. So there's a lot of targets, moving targets that are trying to win a whole bunch of ball games too. So this is going to be interesting. And so I think what needs to happen is the fact that Kyle Tucker needs to continue to hit. Alvarez needs to get it together. I think we saw some signs in this last game. I believe he started making some good contact, but Alvarez, I think he's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. Oh, I remembered what I was trying to say earlier about like where the Astros are. Honestly, once the Astros get to the postseason, it really doesn't matter where they are. They seem to turn it on like that for the most part, and they click and they get into beast mode, and they play pretty good baseball. Do they fall short sometimes? Yeah, but they seem to turn it on. It's kind of like the regular season is spring training, and then the regular season is the postseason.
You make me think you're quoting Dusty of why someone. It's funny. Someone showed earlier there's actually a storm that has formed off the coast of California, and they haven't had a storm form over there in like 170 plus years. And I replied to the tweet that a friend of mine put up there, and I said I blame Maldonado and Dusty Baker's lineup construction, because that seems to be the reason why everything goes wrong in the Astros world. But seriously, Eric, I think that this team, though, this year, okay, yes, once we get to the playoffs, I agree with you 100%. Like it's another gear, but I don't want the second wild card. I don't want to play 3 games on the road, because all 3 games for the wild card are at the home team. Mm-hmm. The home team is the team with the better record. I don't want that. And actually this year, I think we need that bye week. I think we need that rest. And so I think it's imperative that we go and charge hard after the division, and we charge hard after. Even if we don't win the best record, we can get the division and we get that bye. So that right there is super duper important. I still think it's a possibility for us to have the most wins. Look, the Orioles are playing crazy good, 74 wins, but they're not the Braves. The Braves have 78 wins. I mean, the Braves are killing it. And someone said earlier, they're right. The Rays are cooked right now. The Rays are cooked. They're pitching. They lost, was it McClanahan to TJ? Yeah. He's out like for an entire year after this. I mean, So look for the Astros to overtake. I think they overtake Texas before they overtake Tampa.
Yeah. I definitely don't want to play all those games in Tropicana Field. The Astros have bad history there, and I know they've played a little bit better recently, but it's not the place I want to go. And you know what? Where the place you should go? You should go subscribe to us on YouTube. You should make us your first listen and become an everydayer. And don't forget to check out the Astros versus Mariners on Friday night at 7:10 p.m. Catch every pitch on the SiriusXM app. Just download SXM and search Astros. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me at Eric Talk Astros. You can find Brett at H-Town Wheelhouse, and we are the Locked On Astros podcast, and we are your only daily Astros podcast out there. And Brett, go ahead and sign us out.
Hey, y'all, thank you for hanging out. And Jose Altuve, go get 2,000 hits, baby. And Uncle Mike, let's get back to it. Let's go.
Yeah.
You had to do that.
Yes,
every
always.
Time. You're not a cowboy, Eric. Eric, you're not country.
I can be.